Bitcoin smash $44,000. Sailor has a 69 portfolio. Jim Kramer was either on something. We'll dive into that. Absolutely crazy. 30% of Bitcoin has not moved in the last 2 years. Bitcoin's now the 9th most valuable asset in the world. Inflation. It's your fault, ladies and gentlemen. That is the propaganda being spread. We are going to dive into some price targets and BlackRock's 21 amendments. Getting straight into it here. What Michael Saylor sees when he checks the Bitcoin price on his phone. What a legend. Wow, a $6.9 billion 69. You can't see it. Let's, technical difficulties. Give me 2 secs, ladies and gentlemen. My apologies. We are live. These things happen. A 69 portfolio. There is the receipts. 69. Unreal. Absolutely unreal there. What a legend. What an absolute legend. Couple of things there. We'll bring this one back up shortly. Assets under management. Top assets by market cap. Bitcoin is now number 9. It's above Meta, Berkshire Hathaway, Tesla, Lilly, Visa, United Health, and everything else. It is pushing up more and more. It is the 13th largest international currency in the world. Block height, we are at 819,944. Local time 11:23, and Bitcoin price now has just dropped below. Unreal. It's just dropped below 43,996. We're in for a little bit of volatility, ladies and gentlemen. We need to jump in to Kramer in this video. I'll show you something. Imagine 24,000 listening to this gentleman here.
Bitcoin went up today, and I could argue that now it can't even be held in banks. Bitcoin's a strange animal. I will say point blank, I think it's being manipulated up. It was being manipulated the whole time by Sam Bankman-Fried. So please. It's
being manipulated up. Fantastic. A little bit more of that, please, and we are going to see it to the upside and to the downside. Thanks, Jim.
Please don't assume, therefore, that it's not still being manipulated. And I would sell my Bitcoin right into this rally. And believe me, I had been a believer one time in Bitcoin. Not here, not now.
Hopefully, you have gotten rid of that mind virus, the mainstream news there, and you're not watching Kramer, or if you are watching Kramer, Inverse Kramer has done pretty well in the past. Obviously, history doesn't always repeat. Often it rhymes. It's not financial advice, but do study Bitcoin. Now, a couple of things that we want to get into. Samson Mow is calling for a $1 million price target. We covered that the other day. This time really is different. A lot of people say that. And the most dangerous words, is it true? Well, maybe, because we've still got 2 more years of this, according to Nico from Simply Bitcoin. Shout out to them. Have had Nico on the channel here. Bitcoin Magazine, this is absolutely fantastic little clip from CNBC, and Peter Schiff is a little bit spoiled.
Here to break down the action. Mackenzie, there's never a shortage of maybe reasons or excuses why Bitcoin does what it does. Risk appetites, interest rates, the regulation, possible ETF. What do you see driving it right now?
Hey, good morning, Mike. So, as you said, Bitcoin had been testing that $40,000 level the last few days. Finally breached $42,000 earlier this morning, trading at more than 5% in the last 24 hours. Meantime, Ether, the second biggest cryptocurrency by market cap, is back above $2,200.
Do not worry about Ether. It's all a psyop, ladies and gentlemen. It is Bitcoin only.
So, a couple of things.
And we will dive into the very controversial video that just dropped this morning here on my channel. That is getting a little bit of backlash from the community there. We'll unpack that a little bit shortly.
Happening here. For one, the market, as you mentioned, is expecting to finally see a rate cut in the coming year after recent comments from Fed Chair Powell last week.
Just in regards to rate cuts, 99% certain that they happen, as well as that the money printer heating up. They're going to have to go into the election. There's really no other option. They've fired their last shot. They are out of bullets. They have spent all of those. We have been covering this for a long time here on the channel. Give us a quick like, a little bit of a thumbs up. Hit subscribe if we vibe. We'll keep playing.
On everyone's mind are the spot Bitcoin ETFs. Traders are increasingly bullish that the SEC will approve one of those applications by the first quarter of 2024.
We're getting all of them all at once. That's my prediction here. BlackRock, everyone is updating them. BlackRock, and it's pretty funny with BlackRock in regards to it, 21 amendments. There's only ever going to be 21 million Bitcoin, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, people lose them all the time, so there's never going to be that much either. It is what it is. hold on tight. We will give you both sides, the FOMO and the FUD of the argument, because it's going to get hectic more so than what it already is.
For potentially as early as mid-January, this would allow investors to buy into digital currency directly through the same mechanism that they already use to buy stocks and bond ETFs. So you've got top asset managers, including BlackRock, WisdomTree, and Invesco, that have filed applications with the SEC. And part of why this is so significant, Bernstein points out in a note today that
this is important. This is the crux of this video clip here.
the spot Bitcoin ETFs are really the largest pipe ever built between traditional financial markets and crypto financial markets.
Yeah.
They're expecting that 10% of Bitcoin in supply, or around $300 billion, will ultimately be managed by these ETFs by 2028.
When gold, the ETF was launched, it went up for 8 straight years. 2028, it's only 4 years, 3 years away, 4 years away. It's we're in for a wild time. We can see a lot more inflows than just this. Obviously, Qatar as well is looking to have a fairly hefty allocation, probably not $500 billion, but it's pretty wild. The game theory on this is really starting to heat up.
Meanwhile, crypto peg stocks also moving higher this morning. Digital asset exchange Coinbase up more than 6%.
The shitcoiner in my comments, piss off, bro. It's Bitcoin only on this channel. Shout out to everyone watching. If you see these comments pop up, they're all a bloody psyop here. Anyway, we'll keep going.
MicroStrategy more than 7%, and Bitcoin miner Marathon Digital up more than 9%.
Obviously, the miners are leverage plays on Bitcoin. Regardless, just hold it in self-custody. This is long-term generational wealth that you are allocating. And for the first time ever, more than 30% of all the Bitcoin in circulation has not moved in over 5 years. People are not selling, nor will they ever sell. People that are getting hung up on the word sophisticated. Sophisticated investors will leverage against their Bitcoin. They'll borrow against their Bitcoin. They will not sell the world's hardest asset. With inflation, Bitcoin over a long enough time period is always going to go up and to the right. Obviously, not advice. Definitely my opinion there. But 30% in the last 5 years has not moved at all, and all-time highs, over 70% in the last year has been doing it. British HODL, another interview, the receipts are on the channel with British HODL. If the BOFA bull market multiple is correct, to take the Bitcoin price from 40K to over 70K, we need a net capital injection of just 6 billion. Is 6 billion possible? The halving. Michael Saylor, MicroStrategy, just bought 600 million. I believe they're looking to raise another $750 million in debt as well. That'll probably go straight into Bitcoin as well. There's someone buying 100 Bitcoin every few hours. We are locked and loaded. Something came out with BlackRock as well that we'll jump into later on in regards to seeding their ETF and what they have done on October. Update, James from Bloomberg. They're just pouring in. We have another spot, Bitcoin ETF S1 prospectus amendment tonight. This one is from BlackRock. The SEC is obviously giving multiple issuers the same or very similar instructions. United States SEC Commission Amendment number 2, Form S1 registration statement under the Securities Act of 1933. Very, very outdated, but pretty interesting, hey? And then we see Bitwise just updated its spot Bitcoin ETF application after discussions with the SEC. We saw this before Bitcoin. This was only a couple of days ago. The 5th of December, Bitcoin was at number 10. Now, if we have a look at it here, we are at number 9. How good is that, ladies and gentlemen? Continues to go up and to the right. Now, Peter McCormack, time humbles all Bitcoin critics. Today, El Salvador is going down like a lead balloon. Thanks to President Bukele's Bitcoin gamble, El Salvador ranks number 1 in countries most likely to default on its debt, according to Visual Capitalists. This was July 18, 2022. Obviously, time heals all things, humbles all Bitcoin critics, and we have seen that. Obviously, we've covered Bukele earlier in the week. Absolutely exciting. James Lavish, the narrative's inflation. It's your fault. Inflation is coming down. Inflation is caused by greedy corporations, and even inflation is good for you. It's a bloody psyop. Everything but inflation, the pain it is causing you, is a direct result of excessive government-driven money printing. Absolutely agree with that. It's funny how they put out this propaganda there to be able to psyop psychological warfare, psychological operations, to be able to implant these mind viruses into people. Inflation is good. No, it's not. Your purchasing power goes down. And that's why Bitcoin is such a revolution here, ladies and gentlemen. A couple more receipts to get through. Peter Schiff, this was the other day. He's even more bitter and twisted. I did repost something. I'll bring that up after this one here. It's... You'd hate to be this guy, wouldn't you? He's really held firm in his dislike against Bitcoin. He's been wrong for many, many years. Matt Kaiser told him about it at $1, $10, and potentially $100 again. We are on the door of 44,000 again.
You know, I wanted to throw one thing out, because before I came out, I was listening to Charles Payne talking about Bitcoin.
I bet you he felt a whole lot of pain there listening to Charles Payne in regards to his gold allocation. I wonder how his son, Spencer? I wonder how you're doing, Spencer, in regards to selling all your Bitcoin going into AI.
Yeah. And you know, your late buddy Charlie Munger is already rolling over in his grave with all this hype now that's coming out about Bitcoin.
Yep, we're looking at it right.
Listen to this. The reporter just feeds it back to him.
Gold is real. Bitcoin is fool's gold.
41,907.
And now we're on the door of 44. We have broken above 44 many times today. We're going to continue to keep pushing above it. When we hold, do we get a large correction? Maybe we can dive into that as well. Obviously, the game plan, ladies and gentlemen, stack and chill. Everyone in the comments, it is good to have you here live. I will jump through into the comments shortly. We will get through the news with the fast facts first.
Great to have you both.
For now.
Thank you. Yes, for now.
For now. It's continually going up and to the right, Peter. There, if we go on to me here, it annoys me. On the phone, it's so much easier to be able to navigate on Twitter. Anyway, Peter Schiff, CNBC's Andrew just updated views on the price of Bitcoin, disclosing that it's the way CNBC measures digital gold without ever mentioning the price of actual gold. The only people that really care about gold, yes, it's a pretty shiny rock. It's nice to have it in your hands. You can see some silver there in the background. I like gold as well. No drama at all. But gold is the old. Bitcoin is the new digital gold. That's the revolution that we're playing. And we're here for. CNBC is completely beholden to its crypto advisors in the biased way they cover Bitcoin and gold. Peter, it's a game that you've already lost, brother. I'm sorry to hear. Samson Mao, I really, really like this cat, hey? Samson Mao, Argentina is a country that has to move to the use of Bitcoin since it would allow the country to eliminate its debts. But the effective adoption of Bitcoin would be much more powerful in El Salvador because its economy is 20 times greater. Forbes, Bitcoin is increasingly present in Latin America. Samson Mao. And Forbes, absolutely fantastic. We've been going back and forth a little bit there on Twitter. How about we jump into this one shortly? It is a little bit longer of a thread there, very much worth everyone's time. Bitcoin Alive, this is an Australian Bitcoin event, March 2024. I'll see you there. There should be a discount code below. If not, they have just announced Danny Knowles, and I'll sort that out for you. But it should be there in the description. And real quick, shout out today, the sponsor of today's video, Bitcoin Evangelism, Brian D. Mint. If you jump onto Brian D. Mint's X profile, you can see him fighting someone that's trained for the world title. Pretty incredible. A little bit of kickboxing going on there. Anyway, Bitcoin Alive, Danny Knowles, cannot wait to meet that man in person. How cool is that? Bitcoin, 44,073. We'll haven't updated this price, but what I want to show you here more is $1.68 trillion market cap. Soon it's going to cross, not long, 1.7, then 1.75. It's going to jump to 1.9 pretty quick, over 2, and then it is going to continually go up in the right. Are we going to see corrections on the way? Of course, ladies and gentlemen. It's not a joke. You're playing with a volatile asset. Is volatility bad? Hell no. It's where the alpha is, ladies and gentlemen. If you're here, if you've been stacking, if you've been chilling, you've beaten Wall Street. Well done to you on being able to do that. Absolutely fascinating and fantastic to be here, because they're going to have to catch up very quickly. 30% of people have not sold in the last 5 years, over 70% in the last year. There's very little liquidity, very little Bitcoin on exchanges available for purchase. It's going to be a crazy, crazy race. Now, last 24 hours, insane. Nearly a $3,000 move. I've been talking about it. If you've been following along, another good reason to subscribe. We're going to get $10,000, $20,000 moves daily to the up and to the downside, especially as we get past the old all-time high, which is probably going to come fairly close around the halving, in my opinion. When that happens, hold on. Red days are for stacking to get the mindset right. Hopefully you've backed the track up. I bought more yesterday. Finally, the bank released the funds. It's crazy. Held them all weekend, since Friday over the weekend. Released it Tuesday afternoon at 2:30. Insane. Bitcoin 44,029, but just jumping back here, 41,453 last 24 hours is the low, a high 44,367. 7 days ago, 37,550. You know that saying, buy now or cry later? I'm not saying that at all, but over a long enough time period, Bitcoin is going to continue to keep going up. So make the most of it, stack, chill, relax, because when we get these dark green days, up 5.5% in 24 hours, massive moves. So, BlackRock Bitwise filed update applications for the spot Bitcoin ETF. BlackRock's amended filing include clarifications on topics such as the trust structure, potential regulatory impacts on it. We'll dive into what the 21 things are. One of the biggest ones there was their cold storage options. Asset manager BlackRock and crypto investment firm Bitwise both filed amendments to their S1 with the SEC on Monday. Amendments by the other 11 applicants, including Fidelity, Franklin, Wisdom Tree, will likely follow soon, he said. This is by James, who we covered earlier from Bloomberg. BlackRock's updated filings included several changes ranging from themes like security risk disclosures to the structures of the trust, in total 21 million. No, just 21. Notable amendments were made in the asset management giant's latest update noted. I wonder if it was intentional with 21 to start implanting the number 21, and they wrote it as digits instead of, and yes, this is tinfoil hat time, I understand. Instead of in the words 21 million, 21 changes, they are putting that out there. People are going to get used to the number 21, and the number 21 along with the number 69 is going to represent life in a higher consciousness. Anyway, notable amendments were made in the asset management giant's latest update. Crypto Slate noted. We will jump into the Crypto Slate. Its notes. Others include potential regulatory impacts on the ETF and how to navigate the regulatory landscape in other jurisdictions, such as the UK and the EU. A lot of people, Steve Lubka put out a post earlier before in regards to friends, employees calling up from the UK trying to get their money out of their 401k accounts. Must be like superannuation, their retirement account, to be able to put it into Bitcoin. So below is breakdown the 21 major changes to the BlackRock ETF filing made December 4. Details filed in regarding Steel Capital's investors' initial 100,000 purchase of 4,000 shares at $25 per share. Seed shares will be later redeemed for cash, followed by additional undisclosed purchases forming seed creation baskets. Sponsor fee may currently not be waived, but BlackRock pledges to notify shareholders of any future fee waivers. All private keys will be kept in cold storage rather than a mix of hot and cold. Trust prime broker trade and balance holding represents proportional claims on aggregate assets, not specific Bitcoins. The majority are kept in cold storage. It expands specifics, this number 5, on scenarios that could trigger the suspension of trust share transactions, including issues with key service providers. 6, market conditions could make other Bitcoin investments more appealing than trust shares, reducing demand liquidity. Define PB mutually capped liabilities, outlining prime broker liability limits in additional situations like negligence. 8, expand uncertainties around digital asset regulations to include timing and potential legislation changes. Number 9, added SEC action against XRP issuer as an example of potential consequences of Bitcoin being classified as a security. It's already been classified as a commodity, so I really see that as neither here nor there. Number 10, it highlighted emerging UK and EU regulations, unpredictable global events that could impact digital asset prices. Yeah, money printer go brewer. It's going to send it. Obviously, if the proxy wars and stuff escalate, if we go into severe depression as well, there's a whole lot of things and there's a lot of unknowns. Enhanced anti-money laundering and sanction compliance procedures, but the risk remains of inaccuracy from market makers. Streamlined Bitcoin custody to all cold storage with Bitcoin custodian. Clarified a relationship with prime broker. 13, adopted a new valuation policy aligned with accounting standards to identify the principal Bitcoin market. Will feature a range of new data on the website. 14, formalized rigorous criteria for selecting Bitcoin exchanges, including the CF Benchmarks Index. Does look like it will be coin. Oh man, why am I having Coinbase? Wow, that's incredible. Freudian slip there. Number 15, introduced intraday indicator value calculation for shareholders. 16, clarified legal protections and succession planning for separate trustees. 17, shift to exclusive use of cold storage for all private keys associated with the trust Bitcoin. That's really one of the biggest ones there, exclusive use of cold storage. Streamlined explanation of the cold storage protocols for private keys, focusing on security measures. Imagine everyone is going to be focusing very highly on their cold storage protocols there, as you should be too. 19, detailed procedures around blockchain forks and termination policies for the custodian agreement. That gives me chills. 20, specified limited purpose for which trust assets may be held with prime broker, outline storage methods and cash management. Number 21, changed around trade credit lender operations and risk, including Bitcoin sales protocol if trade credits are unavailable. I won't read all of this. I do believe I have reposted already there for you at Sean Clark 911. It is a framework for a price target if you are interested in it. I just want to go down to what he's explaining here in the chart. So it does talk about diminishing returns from 3,200 to 69,400 is about a 20x there. This cycle low, 15,500, bear case high, 155,000, bull case high, 310,000, super bull case high, 465,000. Diminishing returns could happen, but there's some amazing things happening here. Institutional sponsorship, diminishing supply on exchanges. We covered that. The halving's coming up. Federal Reserve pivot. The TradeFi market's beginning to price in a pivot on interest rates by the Fed in 2024, which will certainly be greatly desired by the current presidential administration. They are seeking re-election. Please note, the pressure by the administration will be on for this. If done, this would be rocket fuel. Now, do you see why I believe the halving taking place during presidential election years is no mistake? Pretty interesting, hey? Satoshi was a genius. Price targets suck. Frameworks like this based in logic have some value, especially when used to orange pill your friends and family. Use this to save them. Hashtag stack harder. It's not really, the message there is not about the price. The message is about, are you stacking, are you chilling? And we can see where the trend is going. Obviously, the trend at the moment is up and to the right. And in regards to BlackRock, what they received, the 100K seed funding for the spot Bitcoin ETF. Unknown seed investor, we found out who they were, brought their name up just before, agreed to purchase 100,000 shares October 27, 23. BlackRock's latest filing reveals the seed capital investor agreed to purchase 100K in shares, which is just under 2 Bitcoin at the moment. You know, obviously they got in a good price there. And October 27th took delivery of 4,000 shares at a price per share of $25. The seed shares, the filing said. I will jump into the comment section there. I need to find a way to be able to embed in the live stream. Kramer is a fuel. SBF was manipulating Bitcoin price, manipulating it down, absolutely. But if Bitcoin starts getting manipulated up, it is what it is. I think it's not about manipulation. It's just going to the world's hardest currency. G'day, mate. Getting ready to go out. Awesome. Enjoy the day. Beautiful sunshine. Skins. G'day, mate. Nick, good to see you in the chat, brother. You're a very special person. There's a shitcoiner. Hi, Champ Capo. Is still a bear. Hey, Sean. Insomniac Brett here. How you doing, mate? I'm doing really well. What is the time over in England there? R3A, you will be blocked very shortly if you keep putting shit in the chat. Some of that Bitcoin that hasn't moved for 5 years is mine, not enough though. I haven't held mine. I got in 2019. I've not been selling mine either, just stacking and chilling. So give us another year and that'll be me too. And it is getting more and more. JDK, digital scarcity can only be made once. It's called Bitcoin. No big money cares about shitcoins, not at all, unless they're manipulated in regards to the other shitcoins. Where JP Morgan owns a large stack, they're going to be manipulated heavy and you will be exit liquidity if you are playing around in that. It's just a casino, ladies and gentlemen. Kaiser, hey, Sean, loving it, mate. Good to see you. Brother Max is in the house. No, always kidding. MOD, where do you think the money will come from to borrow against the Bitcoin, and where do you think that liquidity will come from? Banks, fiat, you'd be borrowing against the world's hardest asset for the world's most prolific asset there. The banks can just print money. They will hold it. They will be the custodians of Bitcoin, and there will be people that where you can do it peer-to-peer. There are already peer-to-peer lenders and stuff. It just depends what way you want to go, or if you are holding the ETF, it'll be very, very easy for you to be able to do that. Neil Patton, good to see you, brother. G'day from Georgia, USA. Long Bitcoin. G'day to the USA every day. Riding the Bitcoin train like Aussie. I'm here for the G-Day candles. Let's go. A lot of good people in the chat. Mad respect, mate. You have an exceptionally keen mind inside an insane amount of common sense. Thank you very much. I appreciate that very much. I do my very best. I just want to say, in regards to that controversial video that dropped on my YouTube channel this morning with Lark Davis, the crypto Lark, it's been a little bit, controversial, contentious. In regards to, is contentious the right word? I'm not sure. This is going to just play a deal with the devil, talking about BlackRock here. Lark Davis, Bitcoin to 100x. Sorry, I've not brought it up there for you, ladies and gentlemen. It is a good video. Obviously, it's a Bitcoin only podcast. You know me, ladies and gentlemen. The reason I bring that up is because I went down the shitcoin route, and it's a fucking mind virus. It is a waste of fucking brain space, and it will fucking rot your brain. That's my opinion. You do whatever you want. Getting a little bit of backlash for bringing up this video, for having Lark on, but actually watch the video and listen to the questions that I ask and the answers that are being said. I respect Lark Davis highly for his insights into Bitcoin. He's been in the markets for 6 years covering Bitcoin nearly every day. I don't listen to him for any of the shitcoin stuff. I don't give a fuck about it, but I do care. And I'm sorry I'm swearing because there's some fucking shitcoiners in the chat. My apologies. I'll calm down. But in regards to Bitcoin, it's actually a really good conversation. So I'd urge people, I'd encourage you just to watch it, have an open mind and listen to the facts, not any opinions shared. Even Jesus, if he was alive today, would buy Bitcoin instead, or gold or silver. I believe so. Why wouldn't you? It is digital gold. We live in a digital revolution. We're watching this on digital screens made by technology. It's the hardest form of money. It's engineered to be the best form of money. It's nothing but up over a long enough time period, in my opinion. Jesus alive, just not back yet. Jesus will live forever. Zai, money comes from the ones that know how to pass the ball. Got a dash. Cheers, g'day, Andy Surfer. Enjoy the surf, bro. It looks like we may be getting a cyclone here, and everyone's freaking out about it. I'm like, hell yeah, bring it on. When Mother Nature strikes, they're like, not tornadoes. What do you call them over there in the States? But when we've got about 5-10 more minutes. Mate's calling me. I bet you it is about the price of Bitcoin. I 100% agree. In regards to the cyclone there, Mother Nature comes, and it just reminds us that life's very short and Mother Nature's in control. The only thing that we can really control is putting Bitcoin into cold storage. So, and that's a really good point. And I don't know what happens to the steel plate that I bring up in every video. It's gone missing. It's blank. How weird is that? Anyway, store your seed on steel, because if you do get a major weather event, fire, flood, or a cyclone, you get your roof torn out. Don't store it at home. That'd be idiotic. But wherever it's stored, say a bank, fuck the banks. Wherever you store it, Steel's good. Titanium's even better. It will protect you from Mother Nature when it happens. DCA a little every day, but a bigger chunk of Bitcoin on the red days. Love it. Who stacked today? I stacked yesterday. Borrow event. And with that, I was just going to go on each day. I'm like, no, fuck it. Let's just get this big pile and then the red days will just stack a little bit more. That's the plan. Morning, what time is it in Brisbane? It's 11:52 a.m. Just got to 1 Bitcoin and 2 cold wallets. Tantrum, bloody well done, brother. Absolutely fantastic. You made it. Pat on the back. Go out for a boating and go out boating. Do not have an accident and probably do not share your stack with anyone. Mentality and philosophically content space to be during this ride. Proper passion and phase. Sean, good work. Paul, Ontario, Canada. Cannot wait to get over to Canada. Holy moly, mate, go to sleep. 1:45 a.m. I go to bed at 7:37 and asleep by 10, 9:30, 10. Sean, what's that sword behind you, mate? That's an exceptional question, and I'm going to put my headphones down for a moment. I'll share it with you because it's very, very special and dear to my heart. So drop us a like, hit subscribe. I'll grab the sword and I'll show you. Thanks very much for asking. I appreciate that. So in regards to the sword, it's not Bitcoin related at all. My pop was really high in the British Navy. He used to look after mainly in New Zealand, but when the Queen would go to New Zealand, he'd look after and guard the children. He'd be like a royal guard and stuff. And so this is his sword that's been passed down. And I got it. It probably will not stay with me. Unfortunately, I wish it could. My papa, knighted me as a young kid with it. But I got it here a couple of years ago for my wife and our wedding when we got married to be able to cut the cake there. So it's very similar. Maybe the ones where the king is on the throne where he's holding the sword. It's the same shape. Maybe it's got rubies for eyes or something there, but it's the same sword. Something very, very special and dear to my heart. That's what it is. Lark is a shiller in regards to shitcoins. Yes, I watch him as discussed in regards to the Bitcoin insights. It was 2 wallet talk. Heasy, I'm not sure what that one is. Fair alert. I enjoyed the interview you did this morning. Appreciate that, Amped. It was a good one. Twister. No, not a twister. Not when they're like really condensed and they go down, but like when they're huge and like massive, like really, really, really big. Like, they can be multiple kilometers wide or like many, many, many miles. Like when you get a high and a low, depression. So not quite a thing. Keep on saying that word. I don't mind. Fuck the spammers. Fuck the banks. Absolutely. Fuck the spammers. Fuck the banks. I agree with both of those. I do try to swear. When I hurt my back, I cussed a lot and I needed to tone it down. But if there's shitcoiners, fuck off. Store it in your butt like a treasured gold watch of a friend in a prisoner of war camp. Maybe don't do that. Was it CZ that got found with the thing inside, and whether that was true or not? Congratulations, brother. That was for Tantrum, who just got to 1 Bitcoin. Call them Twisty Dudes. I like that name. Howdy, y'all. Sean, keep on saying that word. We saw that. G'day from Canada. Super show. There can only be Bitcoin, and that's all you need. 100%. The rest is a fucking psyop. Anyway, we got into there. Good morning, Cal. You're all good, Sean. Thanks for sharing. Been wanting to ask about the sword for a while. Looks epic. It's very dear and precious to my heart. Dang, it's a real sword. It very much is a real sword. And my papa and my granddad, very amazing man as well. You can see that... it's really weird going backwards there. That's a shell from World War One, or World War Two. I need to check the pennies on there. That's been turned in a cigar ashtray, which was from my granddad's granddad. So my granddad and my papa, both very dear and special to my heart as well. My papa has passed away. Granddad is still alive, and that's why I'll be in New Zealand in March after Bitcoin Alive. Hurricane! That's it, hurricane. So it looks like we may be getting a hurricane. Super excited, super amped up for that. Love your channel, dude. Apologies for the comments on your last upload. Keep it up. It's all good. It's all good. We're all entitled to our own opinion. was very specific and careful when I interviewed people. When I only interview Bitcoin people, this was, I had my shitcoin journey, the fucking psyop. But when it's Bitcoin only, and with La, yes, he talks about other things. I'm not interested in any of that at all in the slightest. But for someone that's been so close, making content as well, I asked him some questions. It's worth your time. I believe it's worth your time. Everything I put out, I want it to be worth your time. F-bombs are like breathing for an Aussie, right? Absolutely fucking right there, mate. No worries. Absolutely, Brian. Anyway, Sean, are you even into precious metals? Not really, not anymore. There's a little bit there. We've got a little bit in other places, but I sold all the gold for Bitcoin back in 2019. So no interest whatsoever for me. It's a shiny rock. What are you going to do with it? It's, I don't know. I understand holding a little bit of silver, a little bit of gold, whatever, but no, would it make up? It wouldn't even make up like 0.0001, a little bit more than that, but I don't know, way less than 0.1% of my portfolio. And that's the power of Bitcoin, ladies and gentlemen. Truly, Bitcoin is greater than metals. Exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure. Have a very beautiful day. Truly hit subscribe if we vibe. We will give you the news with the fast facts. Usually the video comes out like 5-6 hours earlier, 6.5 hours earlier. I dropped that and it was just such an amazing day. I wanted to get on here, have a little bit of a banter with everyone, but have a very beautiful day. Stay safe. And if you're looking for a little bit of Bitcoin content, Bitcoin Evangelism, it's a bloody good book. There's a link at the top of the description. That's as far as I'm going to shill. Be blessed. Peace.